The story opens in England, where a special forces unit prepares to carry out a strike mission. As soon as they enter a building, a man inside activates a bomb. The explosion causes massive destruction and results in many casualties. The scene then shifts to the United States, where Ed Hoffman watches the news reporting a deadly explosion in a crowded area of Manchester. He discusses with his colleagues that terrorist groups are now using increasingly unusual and dangerous methods. They no longer rely on phones or the internet for communication. Instead, they communicate face-to-face.
You throw away your cell phone, pass all your instructions, face-to-face, hand-to-hand. These people, they do not want to negotiate.
The story then moves to Iraq, where the main character, Roger, is shown working as a field operative. He has a local contact and friend named Bassem, who was initially his informant but has now developed a strong bond with him. Bassem informs Roger about a man named Nizar, who is associated with a terrorist group and has recently been involved in a suicide bombing mission. However, Nizar does not want to die and has reached out for help. Roger and Bassem arrange a meeting with Nizar, while the CIA monitors the situation through satellite surveillance. During their meeting, Nizar reveals that he does not want to die and dreams of living a peaceful life in America.
I want to go to America. I have a PhD, you know. I can speak 5 languages. 5, you know?
He tries to convince Roger of his value by mentioning his education and language skills. Roger, however, dismisses this, pointing out that many terrorists are highly educated, even holding advanced degrees. He urges Nizar to stop wasting time and provide useful information. Nizar hands over a disk containing critical data. Roger contacts his superior, Ed Hoffman, and explains that they have found someone willing to switch sides and provide intelligence. The information reveals that a terrorist named Salem and his group are behind recent attacks and are planning another mission in the United Kingdom. The video on the disk is about a week old, suggesting that the Manchester bombing was carried out by this same group. Roger further explains that the group avoids all electronic communication. They record messages and transfer them physically from person to person. Any real instructions are either delivered verbally or written on paper, often in coded form. The disk also contains details of a possible future target. Hoffman decides that there is no need to bring Nizar to America. Instead, he suggests keeping him under surveillance. However, Nizar soon senses danger and begins to panic, putting everyone involved at risk. Roger somehow manages to keep Nizar calm until evening and eventually lets him go. Nizar has no idea that Bassam and Roger are secretly following him. At the same time, the CIA is also monitoring his movements. Suddenly, a black van arrives, and several armed men step out and open fire on Nizar before forcing him into the vehicle. He is still alive at that point, but to prevent any sensitive information about his contact with the CIA from being exposed, Roger makes a difficult decision and kills Nizar. He then escapes the scene with Bassam. Meanwhile, Ed Hoffman warns Roger that he may have been identified and advises him to go into hiding for a few days, but Roger doesn't agree.
Listen, Ed, we're going north now, do you hear me?
Buddy, no you're not. You're blown.
Following a lead given by Nizar, Roger heads toward a location that could be a possible terrorist safe house. When he arrives, he notices suspicious activity outside the building, including a man handling multiple phones, likely trying to avoid detection by constantly switching communication methods. Realizing this could be an important lead, Roger prepares to move in. Before proceeding, he tells Bassem that if he gets captured, Bassem should not hesitate to shoot him. Bassem agrees, understanding the gravity of the situation. Roger then disguises himself and approaches the suspects. He manages to eliminate one man quietly and takes down another shortly after. Suddenly, the enemies spot him. Bassem immediately calls for support, and the CIA responds by sending 2 helicopters. Roger quickly grabs whatever materials he can and tries to escape the location. Moments later, a massive explosion occurs in the background. The incident alerts the rest of the terrorist network, and they begin chasing Roger's vehicle. By this time, CIA helicopters have arrived and engage the attackers. They manage to disable one of the pursuing vehicles, but another car continues the attack. The terrorists inside launch an RPG, hitting Roger's vehicle. The explosion kills Bassam, but Roger survives. CIA agents quickly evacuate Roger, as he is still alive. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself at an American Army base. A doctor informs him that several metal fragments were removed from his body during surgery, and some of them were not his.
What's that?
Bone fragments, not yours.
It is then revealed that he is at a base in Qatar. Ed Hoffman contacts Roger and explains that the recovered disk has provided valuable intelligence, including phone numbers and details about secret communication methods used by the network. Roger, however, is upset and asks what will happen to Bassem's family, as Bassem lost his life for the mission. Hoffman dismisses the concern, claiming he does not even know who Bassem is. Soon after, Roger is assigned a new mission in Jordan. Hoffman instructs him to coordinate with the Jordanian General Intelligence Directorate, which is also tracking the same terrorist group. Roger is told that he will work with a man named Hani Salem, a key figure in the agency. The head of the agency, Roger presents certain pieces of intelligence to Hani Salem, explaining that they are linked to recent bombings and may point towards Salem's network and safe locations.
I would need your help with surveillance, sir.
Hoffman would rather have less information than share what he has with me.
Hani Salem is surprised because U.S. intelligence is known for never sharing classified information with outsiders. Roger responds that this information is coming from his side and that he needs trust if they are to work together effectively. Hani Salem agrees but lays down a strict condition that Roger must always follow his rules and never lie to him. In reality, Roger has been assigned by the CIA to monitor Hani Salem's intelligence operations closely. While observing from a distance, he notices increased activity by Jordanian intelligence units, who are also tracking suspicious individuals connected to Salem's group. Some of them are disguised as civilians, blending into public spaces. During surveillance, Roger becomes suspicious of a boy who appears to be in contact with one of Salem's operatives. His partner initially tells him that he is working under direct orders from Ed Hoffman. However, Roger quickly realizes that something is not right. At one point, the suspect terrorist senses danger and attempts to escape, but Roger manages to track him down and kill him. During the confrontation, Roger is attacked by dogs and suffers injuries that require medical treatment, including a rabies injection. At the hospital, Roger meets a nurse named Aisha, a single mother of Iranian origin. He is immediately drawn to her, and their brief interaction leaves a strong impression on him. Despite this personal moment, the pressure of his professional life does not ease. Roger confronts Hoffman and criticizes the lack of coordination among his agents, explaining that overlapping and conflicting operations are getting in each other's way and making his mission increasingly difficult. Hoffman, however, dismisses his concerns. Later, Roger meets Hani Salem again. This time, Hani takes him to a detention facility where one of Ed Hoffman's operatives is being interrogated. The scene shows extreme psychological pressure being used on the detainee. Hani warns Roger to inform Hoffman that his interference is becoming a problem and that Jordanian intelligence will not tolerate being undermined.
This is punishment, my dear. Keep watching.
The story then shifts to Amsterdam, where a man discovers a coded message hidden in a trash bin. It contains information about an upcoming flight location, confirming another communication chain within Salem's network. Shortly after, a bomb detonates at the location, killing many people. The attack is widely reported in the news, which Roger and his colleagues closely monitor. Salem and his group also watch the coverage, clearly satisfied with the success of the operation. Hani Salem later informs Roger that the Amsterdam bombing was carried out by Salem's network. He also reveals that they have finally identified one of Salem's operatives within Jordan. Based on Roger's earlier intelligence, Hani Salem was able to recognize the individual and trace him back to a man named Mustafa Karani, someone he has known since childhood.
It was claimed for the bombing in Amsterdam. We believe it to be we need the man inside the Amman cell.
They take Mustafa to a remote desert location. Hani Salem confronts him directly, threatening to expose his secrets to his mother unless he agrees to cooperate. Under pressure, Mustafa finally gives in and agrees to work with them. Hani allows him to leave afterward. When Roger reports all of this back to Ed Hoffman, Hoffman immediately travels to Jordan. He meets Hani Salem and demands information about Mustafa, but Hani refuses to cooperate. In response, Hoffman shows a recent photograph of Salem and argues that Salem is a far more valuable target. He insists that Mustafa is not the priority and that Salem should be their main focus.
Karami, he doesn't know anything. I will ask him what he knows.
You need to give me Karami.
Roger becomes increasingly frustrated and keeps pushing the issue, asking why he was not shown Salem's photograph earlier. Ed Hoffman does not give him a clear answer. Instead, he reveals that Salem's real identity is Karen Shams, a man who was raised in Syria. Roger is also warned not to turn Mustafa into a double agent, as that could provoke Hani Salem into expelling him from the country and shutting down the entire operation. Hoffman assures Roger that he will not interfere with Mustafa's situation, but his expression suggests otherwise. Roger suspects that Hoffman is not being fully honest, and soon enough, Hoffman secretly sends his own men to follow Mustafa. However, Mustafa quickly realizes he is being watched and manages to slip away. Meanwhile, Roger goes to get another rabies injection at the hospital. During this time, Aisha begins to realize that Roger has feelings for her. After some hesitation, she agrees to go on a date with him.
Now you're looking for something else.
You wanted to have a conversation, maybe, inshallah.
cafe to have a conversation.
They spend a pleasant evening together, enjoying a rare moment of normal life. However, they are unaware that they are still being monitored. While Roger is dropping Aisha off at her home, Hani Salam's men intercept him and take him away. Aisha gets concerned about Roger's safety. Shortly after, Roger notices that the safe house he was tracking has been set on fire, and Salim's network has already escaped. The operation has collapsed, and Hani Salam is furious. He has already detained one of Ed Hoffman's operatives who was tailing Mustafa. Hani warns Roger that they have only a few hours to leave the country and threatens him with severe consequences if he is seen again.
You have 12 hours to leave Jordan. If I find you here, I will not be responsible for your safety. Do you understand? Yalla.
Roger hits Hani in fury and then leaves the country. The scene then shifts to Washington, where Roger returns and confronts Hoffman directly. He is angry that Hoffman repeatedly acted independently during the mission and almost got him killed. Roger tells him that Hani Salam nearly had him eliminated. Hoffman admits some fault, but still tries to justify his actions, claiming that time is running out and Salim's network must be stopped quickly. He warns that another bombing is imminent. Hoffman then proposes a new strategy. He suggests staging a controlled terrorist-style operation to make it appear as though a new extremist group is rising. The idea is to attract Salim's attention so that he will make contact, allowing them to trace and capture him. Hoffman is pleased with Roger's idea and approves the plan. Later, Hoffman introduces Roger to a man named Garland. When Roger meets him, he realizes that Garland does not trust Hoffman at all, believing that Hoffman often uses people and abandons them once they are no longer useful. Despite this, Garland agrees to assist. Garland provides Roger with a target profile. The man is named Siddiqui Omar, a Jordanian architect. He is innocent, but his financial backers are linked to terrorist networks, making him a potential entry point.
There you go. Second from the top's Jordanian, he's an architect. He's innocent.
The story then shifts to Dubai, where Roger travels to track Omar. He poses as a businessman and arranges a meeting. During the meeting, someone secretly takes photographs of Omar, confirming surveillance activity. Roger later infiltrates Omar's computer system and installs a hidden backdoor. Through this access, they start sending money to extremist groups to orchestrate it in a way that Omar has done it. Shortly after, Hoffman informs Roger that Hani Salam has called him back to Jordan. Roger has no choice but to return. When Roger meets Hani Salam again, Roger apologizes for his earlier rude behavior. Hani makes it clear that he will not tolerate any more mistakes. After that, Roger meets Aisha again. Aisha tells him that her sister wants to meet him because he is now considered part of the family. Roger, somewhat nervous but trying to stay polite, agrees to visit. Like a traditional family meeting, he even brings sweets with him. He soon arrives at Aisha's home, where he meets her sister. They sit together and have a meal. The conversation is full of typical family questions about where he is from and what he does. During this time, Aisha grows even more attached to Roger and begins to see him as a potential life partner.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Meanwhile, Hani Salam gets info about Omar. Roger then works with Garland to hack Omar's computer and starts sending provocative messages through his system. The goal is to make these messages circulate in a way that eventually reaches Salim, drawing him into the trap. The scene shifts to Turkey, where soldiers are shown transferring dead bodies, creating the illusion of a real crisis. Roger instructs Omar to travel to Turkey for a meeting. When Omar arrives, his photos are taken again, but in reality, this entire situation is staged. The intelligence agencies are trying to fabricate a convincing fake attack scenario to lure Salim out. A fake explosion is prepared at a military base to make everything appear authentic. News of the incident spreads, and Roger observes that the plan is working. Garland also sends messages from Omar's real email account claiming responsibility, increasing the pressure and confusion. The trap is now fully in place, and they wait for Salim to react. Soon, one of Salim's men retrieves Omar's details and forwards them up the chain. Omar starts receiving congratulatory messages from unknown contacts, which confuses and frightens him. Realizing something is wrong, he tries to leave immediately. However, Salim's network intercepts him. Omar panics and insists that he has done nothing wrong and that someone else has been using him. Salim watches everything through surveillance screens. In the end, Omar is killed and his body is dumped, eliminating him from the operation. Roger calls Hoffman, frustrated and disturbed, saying they were supposed to protect Omar, but failed. He tells Hoffman that he is done with the operation and wants to quit. When Roger returns to his apartment, he finds an envelope containing photos of him and Aisha. He immediately realizes that Aisha is now in danger. He rushes to Aisha's house only to discover that she and her entire family have disappeared. Desperate, he goes to Hani Salam for help, but by then Hani already knows about Omar's situation. Hani coldly reminds Roger that he warned him not to lie and refuses to help him, making it clear that there will be no further cooperation. At that moment, Hoffman also arrives in Jordan. Roger asks for his help, telling him that Aisha has been taken and offering to exchange information or do anything necessary to save her. While they are talking, Roger receives a message instructing him to call Aisha. When he calls, he is told to come to a specific location near the border. He goes to the location and some men take Roger into a van, and they cross the Jordanian border into Syria. After a long drive through rough terrain, they drop Roger off at a remote location and leave. Meanwhile, Hoffman is still tracking Roger's movements. After some time, multiple vehicles start approaching Roger's position. The men capture him and take him away. Because of the distance, it is impossible for anyone to immediately identify which vehicle he is in. Hoffman becomes increasingly concerned and assumes Roger may not survive this situation. Roger is taken to a remote facility and locked inside. The Syrian operatives begin recording a video of him. Salim appears on screen and speaks casually, almost mocking the situation. It is also revealed that Aisha was not directly kidnapped by Salim's men, and that there is a deeper deal involved. Someone within the intelligence structure has betrayed Roger. At the same location, Mustafa Karani is also present. Roger realizes that Mustafa, who was forced into cooperation by Hani Salam, is the one who provided Salim with information about him. In other words, Mustafa played a key role in setting Roger up. Roger exposes this, explaining that Mustafa is working under pressure from Hani Salam's intelligence network. In response, Salim brutally injures Roger, breaking his fingers while keeping him on camera. He then orders his men to prepare for execution on video and leaves the scene. Just as the situation reaches its most critical point, Jordanian special forces arrive and storm the location. They eliminate Salim's men in a sudden operation. It is revealed that these forces are actually aligned with Hani Salam. Outside, Salem tries to escape in his vehicle, but even his driver turns out to be an undercover agent working for Hani Salam. Salim is finally captured. Roger is rushed to a hospital where he receives medical treatment. Hani Salam visits him there, and Roger begins to understand the full truth. Aisha's kidnapping was not carried out by Salim alone. Hani Salam had orchestrated the entire situation. He used Omar's case and Mustafa's involvement to lure Salim into a trap. Aisha was taken to push Roger into acting without hesitation and to guide him directly into Salim's reach. Hani calmly explains that the mission was never as simple as it appeared. He admits that Roger was used as part of a larger intelligence strategy. Roger realizes that both he and Aisha were pieces in a carefully controlled operation. Hani ends the conversation with a quiet smile, saying that both Roger and Aisha are alive, and Salim has been captured, so in his view, it is a successful outcome. Later, Hoffman offers Roger a position at headquarters. However, Roger refuses, no longer willing to work under manipulative operations. He walks away from intelligence work. In the final moments, Roger sees Aisha from a distance and quietly watches her with her family. He decides to buy sweets for her. Eventually, Hoffman orders the removal of satellite surveillance on Roger, officially ending his involvement with the CIA, stating that Roger no longer works for them. With that, the story comes to an end. Hope so you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more such amazing stories. See you in the next video.